Today in Review This Thing, we're going to review this thing, the Hawke Endurance 30 Rifle Scope. Hey, this is Adrienne with Review This Thing. Before we do that, do us a big favor, click that subscribe button right there and that notification bell. If you have a Hawke scope, comment below and let us know what you think. Or if we don't answer any questions, let us know and we'll answer those. Now, as with most optics, there's tons of different options, whether it's magnification or the type of reticle and that sort of thing. So I am only going to talk about this particular scope, which is the Hawke Endurance 30 WASF 4-16 by 50 with the LR Dot Reticle. I also just want to let you know that I am not an expert on super high-end glass or scopes in general. So I'm just coming from the perspective of this is a scope that I've been using and here's what I think about it. If you do have experience with some of that more expensive glass and the Hawke scope and you want to comment below and let us know how they compare, that'd be great too. As always on Review This Thing, we're going to cover the facts. The first part is fit. So the overall length of the scope is about 14.5 inches. This particular scope also comes with this sunshade, which adds an additional 4 inches, so it's 18.5 inches. The objective lens on this as a 4-16 by 50 measures right at just under 2.25 inches, so that's kind of its maximum height. And the weight is just over 1.5 pounds, so it's not going to be super heavy to add to your gun. Now, as far as fit, it does have a 30mm tube, so just make sure when you're getting your rings that you get 30mm rings. I have a 20 MOA rail on my gun, and with that rail, I can use the low rings, and you can see that it doesn't touch anywhere. And it also makes it better for me whenever I'm down on the stock to be able to see without having to really crane my head up with those low rings. This scope also has a 4-inch eye relief, which is also really nice depending on the caliber of your gun. You don't have to worry about it coming back and hitting you in the face with recoil. Scoring fit on a scope is a little tricky because it really just depends on, did you get the right rings, did you get the right bases and all that kind of good stuff. But for me, I like the size, I like the sunshade, and the weight isn't too cumbersome. So because of that, I'm going to give fit a 5 out of 5. Now is the Hawke Endurance scope as advertised. On their website, the main thing they advertise is an H5 optic. The only really couple things I could find about that is that it does have the illuminated reticle, which we'll get into, and also a 24-degree field of view. I'm not sure how to measure that per se, but I will say that at any magnification I've used it at, I've been able to see what I need to see. I don't feel like I'm missing a lot of the picture whenever I'm zoomed in or out. They don't talk a ton about the clarity of the glass on the website, but I've been very happy with the clarity. And during the day, very, very clear. Also with most scopes, but it increases that light that it lets in. So early morning or in the evening, you can still see your target in those kind of golden hour, as they call it, minutes. Hawke also advertises this scope to be shockproof, waterproof, and fog-proof. I can definitely say that I haven't had any issues with fog. I have not, by design, taken it out in any really bad weather. So I haven't been in the rain, haven't been in crazy foggy weather, but the times I've used it, I haven't had any issues. I can't really speak to the shockproof or waterproofedness because, again, I try to take care of my things, so I haven't purposefully had it in rain or tried to hit it against things to make sure that it's shockproof. The uses that we've had it for, carrying it through the woods, putting it in and out of a gun case, shooting it, I've had no issues with it losing zero. For my uses, it's been great. Because of those things, in my opinion, the Hawke Endurance 30 does exactly what they say. So, as advertised, I'm going to have to give a 5 out of 5. Now onto construction and durability. The Hawke Endurance 30 scopes are made of aluminum, so that's where you get that lightweight that we already talked about, and also makes them pretty sturdy, pretty rugged. In terms of construction, I do like that this particular model comes with the sunshade. I've never used one before, but I do like knowing that if you're facing the sun, whether that be in the morning or in the evening, that it's going to block out anything extra, so you're not going to have to worry about glare whenever you're zeroing in on a target. Another thing I want to talk about, which is my favorite part of this, is the reticle. So the LR Dot Reticle is basically one central red dot that is illuminated. It has 6 different levels of illumination. So early morning, obviously you want it to be lower, middle of the day, higher so that you can still see it. But it also has ballistic markers. You can zero in those markers. So at the 10x magnification, at 200 you have a marker, 300, 400, 500. We have taken it out and tested those out to 300 and pretty well dead on. When we're zeroed at 100, the 200 mark and the 300 mark are dead on with the ammo that we're using. That red dot for me has been huge. I really like being able to have just one aim point that's illuminated, so it's very clear. It's helped me be able to find my target a lot more quickly and feel very confident in my shot. Another cool thing is that you can get custom turrets for that elevation, so if you don't want to mess with the markers, you can do that. We haven't done that yet. That may be coming soon, so stay tuned, but just know that is an option. A few other things about construction: it does have an optical adjustment, so you can adjust that to make sure that what you're seeing is very clear to your eye. The magnification adjustment is rubberized, so it's super easy to turn. The adjustments for wind and for elevation are in quarter MOA turns, so super easy to adjust, get zeroed in. It also has a side focus, parallax adjustment, and then the adjustment for the illumination is also really easy. One cool thing there is it has off options between each illumination, so instead of having to click through all of them to get to off, and that's handy because let's say in the middle of the day you want to turn it off, but then you have a deer come out, then instead of having to click through all of them to get to your brightest illumination, you just go one and you're right there at it. Now, as far as durability, again, because I try to take care of things, I haven't attempted to damage it to see how well it holds up. For normal use, so far so good. Hawke also does have a no-fault unlimited warranty, so basically as long as you don't try to break it on purpose or you don't lose it or get it stolen, then they'll fix it or replace it. So because of all of those factors, I've been very pleased. And because of that, we're going to have to give construction and durability a 5 out of 5. Now on to testimonials and reviews. You can buy these scopes directly through Hawke on their website. I didn't find any reviews there. There's a couple other websites where you can buy it, but the only review that I found gave it a 3 out of 5, and the reason was because they said that the dot wasn't round. That makes me wonder if maybe they didn't adjust the ocular focus and that's why it wasn't round. Also, possibly, my husband has an astigmatism and he said he has never looked at a red dot and it looked round. So maybe that was what was going on. I don't know. But that is the only review that gave it a score. So because of that, I'm going to have to tell you that score, which is 3 out of 5. Okay, now for the whole reason that you came, should I buy this thing? So optics can be a little bit of a difficult thing to dig into because there are so many options with magnification and all that stuff we talked about. Plus, there are people who are pretty fanatical about their brand. So they, one person loves this brand, one person hates it, and vice versa. So I'm just going to tell you what I think about this scope today. And like I talked about before, I've had a few scopes ranging from a $100 scope up to a $500 or $600 scope. I cannot compare this to some of those more expensive $1,000, $2,000 scopes, but as far as this scope all on its own, I feel like I can give you a pretty good opinion. When I'm looking to buy a new scope now, there are a couple things that I mainly look at. One, how clear is the glass? How is the magnification compared to what I'm looking for? This one being 4:16. And then finally, I look for an illuminated red dot that is just a dot without the other markers being illuminated. And actually, it's pretty difficult to find a scope that meets all of those three things the way that I want it to. So this one obviously does that, which is a definite plus. So this scope, to me, the glass is very clear. I love that illuminated reticle and I love that magnification. Also really like that it comes with the sunshade, and I really like that eye relief because I don't have to scoot this thing way back to be able to see through it like I do a lot of times. The retail price on the website for this is, I believe, $549. I saw it just the other day on Amazon for $499, which I think is a really good price for the quality that you're getting. If you're looking for similar things to what I'm looking for, I really don't think you can go wrong with this scope. Hawke seems to be a pretty solid brand, and I'm very happy that I was able to give this one a try. So, because of that, should you buy this thing? Absolutely, 5 out of 5. Hey, thanks so much for watching our Hawke Endurance Scope Review video. While you're here, please watch a bunch of other videos. Number one, make sure you subscribe if you haven't. Comment below and let us know if you have any questions or if there's anything you want to see us review. And do us a big favor, follow us on Instagram and on Facebook.